Okay folks, let's just have a look at this. I want to show you how you can use a 5-liter container to dilute Super 10 1:10. Okay, so to start off with, this container has some sort of special markings. If you look at it here, it's got liter markings. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got 5 liters, so it's easy for me to top it to 5 liters and then start demonstrating what I want to. But if you don't have a container that's got these markings, you better start off with a measuring cup like this. This one goes up to 500, so I've got to put 10 of these with water in, and that will give me the level for my 5 liters. Then I can make a physical mark on the bottle. Now, every time I get a new bottle to do the dilution in, I'll have to then throw 10 of these in. However, I suggest do it on the first one. Once you've done it there, then take a ruler or a tape measure and place the thing on the table and then measure where this ends. In a case like this, this goes to 22 centimeters. So I know that on this container, even if there weren't any markings, I could take the tape measure, make a mark on 22, and if I fill it up till there, that would be 5 liters. So that's our reference point. Because what we want to do now is, once we know that we've got 5 liters in, we want to take out here, with Super 10, 1:10 concentration, we're going to take out 440 milliliters. And once we take 440 milliliters out, we are going to replace it with the actual product of Super 10. We'll put it in and take it right back up to the 5-liter mark, and that will give us a 1:10 dilution. Now, I'm not going to be doing the dilution now because I still got a lot of my product here. So I'm going to just be explaining it, and hopefully you can see the clarity in it. So how do I get out the 440 milliliters here? I'll take a container like this, check where the 440 is, and then I will take it out. Let's pour it out till about there. Okay, so I've got 440 out there. So this is the point at which I should make the little mark here. In future, okay, so I make a mark, check this out. So this takes it to just onto 20, okay, where the watermark is. So just onto 20 up there. And if you look at it on this container that's got markings, it's like halfway between the 4 and the 5-liter mark. Okay, I've taken out 440 milliliters. What's left here, which is the water, is 4,560 milliliters, or 4.560 liters. Okay, so I'm sitting with 440 milliliters here. Now, all I do is I take the Super 10 and I fill it up until the 5-liter mark. Then I have 1:10 here. And that's how you do it. Okay, I'll be able to get 2 of these out, and then I'll sit with a bottle like this with about 120 mils of Super 10 in, and then if I add water to this to make up a liter, it will ultimately give me 10. 2 of these is 5 and 5 is 10, plus this one give you 11 liters of Super 10 concentrated that's diluted 1:10. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. As I suggest, you've got that measurement so that if you get a new container, you don't have to go through this process of throwing out water, etc. You just put the new container, needs to be the same containers you're working with, of course. Take it there, get to the 20 mark, make a mark there, and then you can just fill the water up until that mark, because you know that's the measurement you've already done. Okay, so another way of doing it, if you don't have access to a tape measure always, is to make a mark on a stick. Make sure it's a nice firm stick. Make a mark on the stick. So if you have the thing there, that mark on the stick, you make it there so that you know that if you want to fill up with water, you take the stick, you put it there, and you make sure, okay, do that, and you know you make the mark there. That's where the water must be. So you can use a stick as a memory of measurement, or you can use the tape measure and you'll know the number on there. And that's what's going to give you 1:10 dilution. How do you get to doing the LDC, which is 1:5 dilution? I'm going to put the numbers down in the description, but you've got to take out of this bottle 830 milliliters of water. So once it's at 5 liters, you take out 830 milliliters, and then that 830 you replace with the LDC. Okay, so how do you get to that there? You've got to use a measurement thing. The very first time do this, use a measuring thing where you are able to remove 830. This one can take maximum 500, so I'll do 500 and then another 330, and then you'll be sitting here with that level of water, and that would be the measurement that you'll do. So then you'll come, let me maybe just do that. I'm going to just totally do this 500 first. Just stop that out there. Okay, so I've got 500 there. And now I'm going to do another 330, which is, I can see in the measurement there. So it's about there. Okay, so now we're sitting with a setting. I've taken now 830 milliliters out for the 1 in 5 LDC dilution. And you notice, interesting, it's like sitting like a quarter way up between 4 and 5 on this one where you can see the measurements. Okay, so people who have one that's got the measurements, they kind of can almost guesstimate where it is there, or they can stick to the exact measurements that they want to do. It's their choice. Sometimes it's just convenient to know you water up like a quarter of the way between 4 and 5. And if you're using it for Super 10, you'll take it up to halfway over there. That's why these measurements are really so cool. So we assume there's no measurements. We have thrown out 830 milliliters, and we are sitting now with 4 liters and 170 milliliters, 4.170 liters, or in other terms, 4,170 milliliters. So that's 4,170 milliliters. Again, the same thing would apply. For your container, you'd go, and this thing would be 18 and a half. So 18 and a half would be, then you get your stick, you make your mark like that, exactly the same, so that when you get your newer containers, you buy 10 of them or whatever it is, you just take the stick, put it there, and you make that mark, then you know that's your LDC 1 to 5, that's your Super 10. If you use this for Super 10, you'll use the next mark. So you just top the water to there, fill the product to the 5 liter mark. And that's practically how it works, and makes it so much easier. So as maybe the leader of your group, make sure you do the correct measurements. Measure where they are, note it down on the tape measure, create a measurement stick or whatever you want to. And then from that point on, as the containers come in, then it's easy to formulate the process with it. Then you don't have to, because giving a new person the measurements and saying, put in 4,170 milliliters of water and 830 milliliters of LDC does become kind of confusing. So if you stick to a system like this, it will really take care of you and your team. The other thing is, once you've done that dilution up to 5 liters, you'll still be sitting with about 170 milliliters of LDC. You top that up for the liter, and it will give you a liter. So you'll have 5 plus 1. You'll get 6 liters of 1:5 diluted LDC to utilize. Another important factor is that when you're making this dilution in the 5 liter container, first put in the water and then add the Super 10 or the LDC. Don't do it the other way around, else it's going to foam out and you won't be able to complete the dilution.